Hey, in this video, we're going to be replacing this piece of trim right here. This is a 2018 Hyundai Sonata, and the reason we're replacing it is because it got damaged there on a windy day, door opened and hit something. So we're going to get this replaced. In the process, we're going to take off the mirror, and if you're wondering part number wise, that's C1000 at the end there. It's a little faded. So I'm going to try to keep this simple, and we'll show you how this comes off and how the new piece goes on. So the first thing you might be wondering, is how's that thing affixed in there? So in the cases of the Sonata, it's just these clips that are holding it. Now there are other pieces. I think there's a video out there with the Honda that shows that you take the two screws off, and then there's like a C channel it fits into, so you have to slide it this way and then it just comes straight up. But in the case of the Sonata, it just clipped right in there. So let me show you. It's really just two screws holding it. You've got one here, and then you've got another one right here in the door, and you just got to flip this piece of rubber up to get to it. And then as far as I'm going to take the mirror off just to give me a little play down in the mirror, and this just pulls off. There's two little clips that holds that thing in place. And actually, I'm not going to take the whole mirror off. I'm just going to loosen these enough to give me a little movement down in there, just to make this a little bit easier. So the only tools we're going to use, actually I've got a couple ones here from another project. It's just going to be that screwdriver, and then this is one of those spludger tools, so we don't nick up the paint. So let's get that old piece off. First thing, get this screw out. It's pretty easy. Done. And then here we are near the hinge. We just got one screw there. So we're going to get in there, just lift that little flap up and take that screw right out. Done. And then the last thing I'm going to do, and you can probably tell I've already done this once, is I'm going to loosen this mirror. This is a 10 mil socket. It's not even a deep well socket. I'm just going to loosen these just to give me some play as I lift that other piece out of position. And then here the mirror's loose. So now we can, but it's not going to fall off. So now we can get that outside belt molding piece off. Now to do that, I'm going to take this spludger tool and just get in there and just give it just a little lift. And you can see I've already worked it loose just a little bit just with that. Yours might be a little tighter than mine. Mine's of course a little loose because I've already removed it in an attempt to straighten that piece of broken chrome. So yeah, look, we're super loose. Now be careful, the window comes up almost to the top here. So of course the last thing you want to do is break your window. And then you sort of also do have to pull out at the end there. Did you hear that click? That's because I'll show you the piece that sort of fit in that screw hole there, and you got to get up over that hump. And then actually it basically just pulls right up. Done. See, that piece actually on the other end too catches, so you got to get it pulled out a little bit just to get the whole piece up, and then basically once that's out, the whole piece will pull up. So I'm going to put her back on the tripod and finish taking her off. All right, so same thing here. See, everything's really loose now that you got that. So it basically just pops right. See that it'll slide out here, and yeah, it just sort of finagles off and pops right off. So there we go. So let's put this old piece and the new piece side by side. And then here we are, old piece and new piece, and here again you can see the clip that's on this end. That's where the screw goes into. And there you can see all the clips that's kind of hold it in there. And then this is on the mirror end. There's not quite as big of a nub, so that's why that end comes off a lot easier. And then another view here close up. Here's where you can see where the screw goes through. Here's where you can see how close you are to the glass up at that end, so definitely be careful. And then down here at this end, there's where that other screw fits in. So I'm going to just wipe that out real quick. Then we're going to put that new piece on. And you may have noticed, by the way, that new piece just has black, like a covering on it. There's chrome underneath there. So it just comes with that black piece on it. All right, we got that channel cleaned out now. So let's get that new piece put on. So clip is over. There we go. There, now it's down on there. So you just get that clip down in there, and let's slide her into position. Oh, it popped out, so I gotta get her back down in. And it is. So we're gonna slide it even more. So now we'll slide down over here. It's looking pretty good. And again, we're only sliding it into position just to get it under the mirror. There's no like C channel. It just goes straight down over the sheet metal. So we're going to push that in to make sure it's clipped. In, clipped. And we're good. We are good. So it looks like we're lined up here good. Yeah, we're lined up. So let's, yep, there it is. Everything's clipped in here. Everything's tight here. Tight here. So now we're just going to reverse the process. Put the screws back in. Tight. Tight. Yep, got all those. Get this screw back in. Flat back up. And that's plastic you're screwing into, so not too tight, man. We'll get the screw in here. This was definitely a piece, as I slid it in there just to make sure that that was, lined up right. And it is. So we'll get that screw in there. Make sure it catches. Yeah, just a little tight since it's new plastic. And the last thing I did was just to make sure this was tight in there, and it actually did snug in a little bit more. So I drew that screw up a little bit more. Then after I tightened the mirror, I kind of did the same thing here. Made sure, that was just up in there tight, and then I re-tightened that screw. So that's all in. You can see I got the cover on the mirror there, and then of course you make sure it's clipped in there. That's a little tricky, but not too difficult. So let's put the window up, make sure everything's okay. All right. Window up. Window went up. And everything looks tight and sealed there. Tight and sealed there. And good there. So now we're going to take that strip off and do the reveal. Okay, let's do the reveal here. See, we got chrome and then black. But again, that's just a rubber cover. So we'll just peel that up. And then off it goes. Done. So we have successfully replaced that. So if you have any questions about that process, post them in the comments. Thanks for watching.